Did you know that your body is communicating with you all the time? It's speaking clearly in the language of body. It is consistently providing you with clues, insights, invitations, and information about how you're doing mentally, emotionally, and physically. It is consistently offering up invitations for you to raise your awareness to come back to balance and possibly even arrive at optimal wellness. Do you think it might be helpful for you to have a guide to interpret these communications so that you could accept these invitations and arrive into greater health, harmony, and happiness? Throughout my 30 years of working with clients, it's become clear to me that our imbalances arrive initially in our auric field and express themselves on the mental level in the form of negative thoughts. And then, if left unaddressed, it advances into our emotions and expresses itself in the form of lower emotional vibrations and show up in the form of grief, anxiety, depression, amongst other negative feelings. And if left unaddressed here, that energy has no choice but to express itself in our physical body in the form of physical illnesses, disturbances, and diseases. And the illnesses that we suffer are not random or disassociated from our life challenges, our traumas, and our journey through life. In fact, our physical health and our physical body is our receipt of our life difficulties and our responses to them. And all of this is why it would be a good choice for you to know more about what your energy type is. Because once you have this understanding, you'll be able to connect to some simple, practical remedies that have some profound and transformative results. And a great place to start this journey is by taking the quiz, which allows you to have deeper insight into what your energy body is attempting to communicate to you by identifying your personal energy code that contains the specific mental and emotional vulnerabilities that you may have and how you can flip them into your strengths. Something well worth knowing. And I have created some Bookios, and these Bookios are audio books with audio meditations and practices. And I created the Bookios with the intention of providing the most practical, least expensive, no-frills way to get potent, transformative tools that can positively impact your life on every level. The tools contained in the Bookios can be used both preventatively and curatively. And as I mentioned, our imbalances express themselves mentally and emotionally before they arrive into the physical body. So when we address these imbalances on the subtle energy level, they can be resolved there, averting the associated physical issues and physical expressions. Also, we can access the imbalances through the physical container so that we can resolve them on every level. And wouldn't it be nice to have a guide that could interpret the language that the body is using to attempt to consistently communicate with you? So let's dive deeper into what is contained in the Bookios and take a deeper look at the tools, the meditations, and the yoga practices. Whenever we access the subconscious, we are able to create profound solutions around our habitual patterns and our conditioning. So first of all, I will share more insights into the material in the Bookios that are same material that are in my courses. And then I will introduce you into a deeper understanding of the yoga practices that are contained within the Bookios so you can understand how they work. I hope you enjoy your journey through this deeper explanation. Is because this guides you by the hand, step by step, into the practical application of the tools and the practices that really create changes in your life. Early on in my journey, I became a hypnotherapist, and I understood the value of hypnosis and guided meditation in transforming our habitual behaviors, our conditioning, our patterns, and all of those things. And applying those tools into meditations was really what accelerated my practice, because my clients were getting results. They were able to change the patterns and the habits that they wanted to. And so they were able to reap the rewards in their experience of life and overcome anxiety, get through grief, overcome depression, be able to heal even sometimes physical vulnerabilities of kidney disorders or liver disorders. So the tools aren't limited in their ability and their capacity to create profound and permanent change. So the skills of life that I really wanted to offer the experience of transformation around are really mastering the mind, mastering the emotions, understanding what your guiding principles are. And your guiding principles are your moral compass, your ethical standards, your fundamental beliefs that keep you returning back to true north, keep you returning back to yourself. And it's not a conversation that we have every day, even that we have guiding principles or ethical standards or an understanding of what they are and even what the value is of knowing them. But there's a lot of value in knowing them. I feel like a lot of spiritual traditions and even a lot of psychological theories underscore and affirm the importance of knowing ourselves, knowing who we are, knowing what we value, knowing what our ethics are is really important. But we're never really trained how to do that. And if we were trained how to do that in school, then it would really be transformative, not just helpful, but a game changer, a life changer. And through this course, you'll be guided step by step in connecting to your own guiding principles and establishing them deeply within your neural pathways, within your energetic system. Then I teach about the top 10 healthy habits that lead to a happy life, nurturing our relationships, good nutrition, good mental nutrition, good emotional nutrition. And what's that? And how do you apply those ideas into your world? So the course actually takes you by the hand and guides you step by step with the information and the practices that implement these changes and these transformative, life-changing experiences so that you can elevate your experience of happiness. And then in part 2 in the book, I really felt like it was important, and obviously in the course too, to get to have a skillful and intelligent relationship with our energetic system, our chakras. And I know that that's a word that some people think is woo-woo or way too woo-woo to be practical in its application. But actually it's not. It's very, very practical to get connected to and to have an influence over your energetic system. And that's what this course does. It gives you a deeper understanding about your chakra system, a deeper understanding about the path that you're walking through this lifetime in terms of predictable challenges and vulnerabilities, both mentally and emotionally, that you would bump up against on your particular path. And because they are predictable, they are able to be answered predictably. And so I provide for you an introduction and an elevated level of skill in relationship to your chakras and your archetypes within each of your chakras, so that you can have that deeper understanding of you, who you are, what's predictable when you get stressed or challenged, what mental pattern rises up, or what emotional pattern rises up to attempt to seduce you down into your lower self. And obviously, with that insight and with that information, you're less likely to fall unconsciously into these lower aspects of the self and more equipped and skilled to rise up to the highest expression of who you are. And it's valuable not only in your journey, in knowing yourself personally and your vulnerabilities and strengths, your actions and your reactions, but also in understanding the people that you love. When you understand where their wounds are expressing themselves in their mindset and in their emotions, and then ultimately in their behavior, you are able to have more compassion and more insight and more skills and tools in helping them navigate through their particular challenge, which only improves your connection and your relationship to them. So I am very excited to invite you to join me in this profound yet simple process to elevate your happiness set point, to cultivate the habit of happiness, and to acquire these essential life skills that we really would have benefited learning in school. Most of us know the things that increase our well-being, things like exercise, meditation, visualization, affirmation, breath work, positive memory, to name a few of the most potent tools. We know that they have profoundly beneficial effects on our well-being, and I thought that it made sense to bring all these potent tools together and share them in an embodied movement practice, so that we could include our body wisdom in our journey towards holistic health. This way, we can reinvent the meaning of medicine. And I created my Inner Light yoga practice over a decade ago, and I've enjoyed witnessing the profoundly healing and transformative effects it has had on all of my students. And I wanted to share those same potent benefits for you. These simple yet powerful practices are capable of not only soothing your anxiety, fear, grief, and depression, but by meeting them and digesting them and then eliminating them all together, bringing you to your joy, your light, and your happiness. And I have a mission to support individual personal transformation and to increase our group well-being, health, and happiness and consciousness, and to transform our understanding of what medicine actually is. The only way that we can change the world is to change our lives. The way to change our lives is to change our energy. And the way to change our energy is to change our state of being. We have to change our thoughts and our emotions And this practice creates the foundation capable of helping you do that. And the only way that we can change ourselves in our future is to change ourselves in the infinite present moment. So with a selection of the most skillful means available to combat your inner disturbances, you will be able to connect to your inner pharmacy, to ignite your own natural feel-good chemistry, to bring about a state of homeostasis, of harmony, health, and well-being, to increase your vitality, raise your vibration, expand your consciousness. And these are just a few of the benefits from this integrated practice. Inner light yoga is a passive, contemplative practice of long holds that targets the connective tissue with the intention of lubricating the joints, calming the mind and the emotions, to open a portal to the spirit. And this provides us with an opportunity to remember the truth of who we are in our essential nature. And by targeting the subtle energy body, we support our energetic and emotional health and well-being. When we maintain a posture for at least 3 minutes at an edge of what I call sweet discomfort, this allows a healing mechanism to be triggered and enhances our ability to abide with whatever arises. We enhance our awareness of everything that is in the moment and cultivate a deep sense of acceptance of what is. And this fortifies us on many levels. It helps balance our inner masculine and feminine energies, and it cultivates our capacity to feel our true strength, our ability to confront and successfully navigate through whatever comes up in the practice and ultimately in life. This is a practice that strengthens us both on and off the mat. And my intention is to support you in understanding how to translate the skills you learn on the mat, inside an edge of sweet discomfort, into your daily challenges in your daily life. And learning the techniques to master the emotions and the mind supports you in overcoming and liberating from your negative mental and emotional patterns that, if left unchallenged, can run you and keep you trapped in your habitual conditioned response and reactivity, disconnecting you from the wisdom of your own innate knowing. And this practice will illuminate where you have been hooked in old patterns of belief and emotional reactivity, offering you the insight, the tools, and the opportunity to liberate from habitual ways of being, emotional stress and mental anguish, patterns that most likely originated in trauma from your history. We will rebalance each of the chakras with a consciousness shifting journey back to the truth of your essential nature, bringing about a state of inner balance, inner peace, and self-acceptance, moving from fear into wisdom, from self-doubt into empowerment, and from anger into compassion, and from fear into love. So my practice chooses the asanas that best target each of the energy centers, the chakras. We intentionally invite attention to each of the body's energy centers, which are known as the chakras, using specific breathing practices, visualizations, and affirmations with the intention of healing and rebalancing each of them. The first energy centers focuses on supercharging your immune system to rebalance anger, irritation, frustration, to transmute it into courage and into compassion. It rebalances your mental and emotional body around the energy patterns of instability, insecurity, and feeling unsafe, bringing you back to an internal experience of safety, security, and stability. And in the second energy center, we will focus on managing and balancing your fear. We will support your kidneys and rebalance the experience of disconnection and aloneness. And you will finish feeling more connected and refreshed and well. And in the third energy center, we will focus on rebalancing and overcoming digestive and stomach issues, as well as anxiety, returning you to your inner peace and equanimity. And this self-love practice returns you to feeling powerful, worthy, and loving towards yourself. In the fourth energy center, we will strengthen the heart, elevating the idea of loving the self into an actual practice. In the fifth energy center, in the area of the throat, we will be rebalancing the thyroid gland and energetically addressing our expression and our listening skills. And we will also be transmuting fear into love and overcome control issues. In the sixth energy center, in the center of the forehead, we will activate your intuition and access your innate wisdom, overcoming low vibrational, negative mental patterns, and achieve balance between your intellect and your wisdom. In the seventh energy center, at the crown of the head, we will bring you back to your essence, your divine nature, and connect you with the divinity in the universe. So let me explain how all of this works on a physical level in the Inner Light yoga practice. Inner Light yoga is a yin yoga practice which targets the yin tissues and joints and ligaments and bones to maintain their healthy capacity. Yin yoga is a chi enhancement practice which amplifies the quality of your energy and supports a smooth mobility in your connective tissue. Yin tissue needs to be pulled and compressed to maintain pliancy, and when stressed appropriately, they grow back a little stronger and more pliant than before, and the meridian that courses through them are nourished with more chi. Yin yoga can best be described as like an acupressure session, and by applying intentional pressure through the asanas and enhancing and restoring energy flow through the meridians. This practice ensures healthy distribution of chi, life force energy, by increasing the flow of prana into more balanced patterns. And this activating energy flows through the meridians, the invisible rivers of energy that run through the system, which flow through all of the tissues and bones, moistening the joints and revitalizing the energy body. And by pulling and pressurizing the tissue, this triggers the body's natural healing, repair response, inviting chi and blood to flow through these areas, making them more lubricated, stronger, and more usable, which all adds up to some powerful medicine. So I invite you to meet me on the mat and we can do some magic together.